Okay. This is the water heater video. This light does not work. This is in this little utility niche behind the kitchen, between the kitchen and the garage pedestrian door that does not have a self-closing spring. Okay, this is the laundry connections. Okay, these are bonus rounds. Laundry connections, they're not labeled, they're not identified as being hot and cold. It just looks like cold and cold. We know that's probably not the case. You're supposed to have a red handle and a blue handle. So that's what we have here. And I was looking to see if there was some kind of markings inside the box that would help us with that, but there's not. We'd assume that hot's on the left and cold's on the right, but we don't know. It's not marked. 3-prong electric clothes dryer. The clothes dryer length should be labeled. The by today's standards, not when this home was built, but this would be GFCI protected, and it's not. This for the clothes washer would be GFCI protected, and it's not. The light doesn't work. But we're here for the water heater. Yay, water heater, water heater. One thing we do not have is we do not have an electric service disconnect for the water heater. If you're going to work on this water heater, you got to go find the electric service panel, breaker box, load center, call it what you will. But we do not have an electric service disconnect for the water heater. We do not have a care and use manual for the water heater. This is the bonding for the electrical system right there, so we know that we've got that. Probably, it's mentioned in the report. It's nice that the water supply lines have dielectric unions, and it's nice that they are insulated. Okay, but also the temperature pressure relief valve should have been insulated. That valve should have been insulated. And it's not necessary to insulate the drain line. It's the valve. That's the part that gets hot. The drain line's empty. You can put your hand on it. You can feel it. You don't have to trust me. Feel it. I dare you. Okay. Now, what we have here is a flexible connector. All right. A lot of home inspectors get excited about flexible connectors, but no, not this one. Because it takes a union right there. It takes a union. That's the problem. Not the fact that it's flexible. The fact that it takes a union that is threaded to go on there to get to the valve. I know nobody's going to take that loose and cap it off, but that's what it's about. But here's another thing about it while we're at the flexible, is the line is actually clamped and it is actually restricted. So we can go there. Also, this line is supposed to have a vacuum breaker and air brake in the same room as the water heater. We do not have that. We do not have that. Another thing that we don't have is that we don't know where that thing is discharging to. I've been looking. If I find it, I'll write it on the report, kind of correct this video, as we go. These videos are first passes. I get a lot of stuff wrong. I omit some things, mix up some words, that kind of thing. But right now, we do not know where that drain line discharges to. It's supposed to discharge to an obvious location, and it's got its own requirements. But it doesn't have the air vacuum breaker in the same room as the closet. Here's a safety pan. Nice thing that we got a safety pan, huh? Where does it drain? On the floor? What good is that going to do? Nothing. It's not going to do any good. So the safety pan doesn't have a drain. All right. This water heater is our data plate over here. We learned that this water heater was manufactured in 2013, so it's 8 years old. Water heaters last about 10. Water heaters last about 10. You may get 6 more years out of this. I don't know. But they last about 10. Just for your information, this water heater is about, 8 years old. In its lifetime. Also, we learned that it's 50 gallons. Of course, scale is going to build up in there, so it's 50 gallons advertised. So what did we learn? We got an 8-year-old 50-gallon water heater. We learned that our safety pan does not have a drain line. We learned that we do not have a care and use manual. We learned that we do not know where our temperature pressure relief valve drain line discharges to. We learned that that drain line is kinked and that it has a union on it, a threaded union on it. We learned that our temperature pressure relief valve has not been insulated. And by the way, these are good for about 3 years. We learned that our temperature pressure relief valve has probably not been replaced, and it's probably time to replace that guy too. We learned that we do not have an electric service disconnect. And those are the things we learned. We also learned a little bit about the laundry. Okay.